Okay, shalom everybody. Welcome to Rambam Le'Yuna. Like the Rebbe said, to learn one halacha Le'Yuna. The Rambam we're going to be learning today is a very, very well-known Rambam. The Rambam is in Hilchis Tumas Tzaraas, Peirik Beis, Halacha Tes. The Rambam says, we'll start in the middle of the halacha. In order that the siman of shtei sidis should be a siman tuma, it has to be vihi hofcho, that the beheres kigris made the two shtei sidis levonis. So if it was only beheres kachatzi and it had shtei sidis, it's nothing because it's chatzi gris. V'nil de lo beheres kachatzi gris ubosayra achas. So memele the beheres, once it reached kigris, only made one new cider. There's no siman tuma. You wait 7 days to see what's going to be with this, like a regular nega, without the siman tuma. However, beheres kachatzi gris ve'ein bo klum. If the beheres is only chatzi gris and there's nothing there. V'nil de lo beheres kachatzi gris uboshtei sidis. So now, what made the shtei sidis levones a full gris? Hareizu lahachlit sharei kodmo beheres l'shtei sidis levones. Because the beheres made the shtei sidis levones. Then the Rambam says, Sofik seir lovon koide. Sofik ha-beheres kodmo. If there's a sofik which came first, hareizu tome. You paskin that it's tome. Then the Rambam says, v'yireli shetumose besofik. The tumah is a sofik tumah. There's a big discussion in the Rambam. The Rishonim ask, how could the Mishnah say in the Rambam Paskin Tomei, when there's a chazaka Rishonim, this person was toher. If he was toher, so why should you all of a sudden say Sveikin Tomei? We know chazaka is machriya nasofik. So the Tesis in Nida says that here there's no chazaka. Why? Shekein derech haseir liislam bein machmas hanega. Normally, a black hair, if it turns white, it's probably because of the nega. Based on this Tesis, the Rambam's halacha is talking in every case. There's a neg and there's white hair. You don't know. Zok b'tomei. That's according to that Tesis. Then there's the Rash in his Pirush Mishnayos. He says that here it's talking about that the Rambam is not talking about a regular nega. There's a chazok. He's talking about only in our case of the halacha of the Rambam, where there was a chatzi gris with outsiders. And then there's another chatzi gris. So probably, just like the first chatzi gris came with outsiders, the second one came with outsiders, and then it turned it into shtei sidis, levonos. But in a regular case, you would not say it according to the Rash. Some people want to say, I think it's in the Tesis HaChadoshim, on the Mishnah and the Goyim, the end of Peirik Dalet. They want to say, the Rambam learns like that Rash and that Prat. because he comes, it's not a separate halacha. It's behemshich to beheres kachatsigris. Rabbi Netam also brought down in Tesis in Ksubis, brought down in the Rash. He says this person was Tomei because of another nega. So he doesn't have a cheskas tahara. That's a whole different way of learning that, learning pshat. And the first nega is tohe. Shaila is if the original nega goes away, is he Tomei because of this nega or no? But in a regular case, it's not talking about. So there's a big claim that is showing him about when is it talking about. But let's look a little at the mokir. Is a Mishnah going? One line. Mishnah says that Beheres is before Seir Lovan is Tomei, but if the Seir Lovan is before the Beheres, it's Tomei. Says the Mishnah Vim Sofek Tomei. Shit of the Tanakama. Shit of the Chachomim is that it's Tomei. The Rabbi Yeshua Keho. Rabbi Yeshua, there's many different types of what the word Keho means. That his teeth were hurting when he heard someone says Tohe, according to some portion. He says it's Tohe. The Gemara says in Nozir Daf Samachei that he learns it from Letare Oy Letamoy. There's a famous Gemara in Bab Metzia. The Gemara brings that in Gan Eden they were arguing. The Mesifta the Rakia said that if it's Sofek, it's Tomei. So they said, Ma Noichach, who's here that could be Machri and the Machlekes of Mesifta the Rakia with the Rebbeinu Shalelo? Came, Dr. Gemara, Rabbi Mendy said, Ani Yochid b'negoyim, Ani Yochid b'olis. And Ed Gepaskin Tohe. And the Rebbeinu was smiling and he said, Nitzchune bonin nitzchune, it's ariches hagemorim bab metzia. There, the Shaila, why did the Rambam decide to paskin that it's Tomei? If Rabbi Bar Nachmani was machriya, that it's Toher, and with them is Yotzes on Ishmosei, why did the Rambam paskin Tomei? They say that the hechrich of the Rambam to paskin Tomei is from the Mishnah, the next Mishnah in Perek Hey. Mishnah says in Perek Hey, Kol Sofik Negoim Tohe. Bichlal, if there's a Sofik and a Nega, it's Tohe. Chutz Mizeh V'oidache. In those cases, it's Tomei. So the Rambam learned Pshat in the Mishnah. Chutz mizeh is Sofek Baheres Kodma Seir Levona Kodma. Is a Mefurish Mishnah in Paskin Tomei. But the Kesef Mishnah asks, why didn't the Rambam Paskin like Rabbi Shua and he Paskin like the Chachomim? And he passed on the Chacham that it's Tomei. So there's a fascinating Kesef Mishnah. Kesef Mishnah says, Teiro Leiba Shamayimi. Rabbi Bar Nachmani was Boretz. Since he was Bo'oretz, even though he was Bo'oretz, since it was right before his Istalkus, Heises Nishas given Mamish Bo'oretz. As is of the Kesef Mishnah. There's a Chasam Sefer in his Tshuva Simen Ches Chaim, he says, because he's going to die, now he's Boretz. Over here in the Mishnah in the Goyim, he brings here in the Teis Anshe Shem that tu mishe unete lomus va'oma kisvu geit liishti v'daitit slula. If a person, even before he dies, he has a das slula and he says to give a get, lo yichtu v'yitnu lo, he's on a shom and a guf. Some Sefer has a very hard time with this Kesef Mishnah. Some Sefer wants to say, Pshat is lifnei ptirose, no one heard it, no one saw it, no one witnessed it. That's how he wants to learn. But it says, Medaf Hashtain, what the Some Sefer is saying, L'chira, the Gemara said it. The Gemara, Nichtav Baruch HaKedesh, it happened. What do you mean we didn't see it? But he's saying we're not relying on the Ruach HaKedesh of the Gemara, that it actually happened. Okay. Why the Rambam paskins Tome? Also, there's a big machlekes when the Rambam says v'yira lisha tumosi b'safek. So the Tesis Yom Tov and the Mishnah Lamelech over here, they learn pshat in the Rambam v'yira lisha tumosi b'safek means kipshute, it's a safek tumah. The Tesis Anshe Shem brings the Yirali Shetumose, it's a Tumavada and misofik because it is sofik. So I think it's brought from the Chazei Nochum, Pshat and Rambam. But this Tesis Anshe Shem is shver because Hareza Tome, it was that for Tsugem, the Yirali Shetumose misofik. Of course it's a Tome misofik. Was will it Tsugem do in them the Yirali? The Tzemach Tzedek also learns that it's a Sofik Mamish. The Rebbe has a Haore in L'Kutei Sichos Chelik Yud Beis, Mitzera, it's Tazria, Haore 16. The Rebbe brings a long Arichas of Marmikemes. In Pshat, in the Rambam, what does it mean? V'yira lisha tumosim misofik. So there's so much to talk about. I just want to focus on this concept. What does the Kesef Mishnah mean? That because it was before the Histalkus, that's why we don't pascha like that. There's a long maimer on this Gemara in Bab Metzi and Pasha Tazria L'Kutei Torah. And the Alter Rebbe has a big beer in the Machlekes of Mesifta D'Rakia and the Rebishter. How could you argue with the Rebbeinu Shalom? When he said in the Torah, how could they argue? He explains the Alpiprimis in Yonim, the Machlekes, and at the end of the Maimer, he explains Barichis the Machlekes of the Rambam and the Rash on this Mishnah. He explains that there is the Darge of Yechudi Lo and Bikul B'Mtzias. Over there, if there's a Sofik, there's no Nega. Because Enin Mulvade is Klor Inogulekt. But Mitzad Das Tachten is a Sofik, is a Nega. Because there, they're more Shayach to Yeshus and Mitzias. By Zeh is Yeshus und Metzias nicht angefragt. That's the Nekud of the Maimer. Says the Rebbe in the end of that Maimer, Das ist Pshat in Rambam, wo der Rambam sagt, dass man pasket nicht das sei. It's all derech, die Gemara says in Erevin. That's why they didn't pasken like him. Because merechen sich mit dem Mato. With Achri Rabim Lahatis. Wie bald le Yochel Chachomim Lamed al Sif Daita Shel Rab Meir, it's a hechere Welt. In the words of the Maral of Prague, Be'er HaGoylo, in Be'er HaRevi, he brings that. At the Eibishter, Afile Zok Tohe, Mitzad Gidre HaNoise, it's Tohe, aber der Eibishter rechen sich wieder Sis Mitzad Gidre HaMekabo. That's the godless of the Beta. That's the godless of the Torah. That's why the halach is that it's Tomei. Because wie das legt sich auf bei uns, it's Tomei. So even though by the Eibishter, by Kutchebrichu, it's Toher, here the Eibishter rechen sich mit dem Mat. Like the Alter Rebbe says, Pshat in the Rambam. Then the Alter Rebbe says Pshat in the Rash. Then why does the Rash say the halacha is Toher, val fort kutchabrichot gesagt Toher? The Rebbe L'Kutei Sichos Chelik Beis. He learns a little different than the Alter Rebbe in L'Kutei Torah Pshat in the Rash. He says, why is it Toher? Because Rabbi Bar Nachmani hat das gesagt. Und Rabbi Bar Nachmani, gewähnt an Neshome beguf, und dort noch sich angehört, Toher, paskend der Toher. Da verstehen the difference between the L'Kutei Torah and the L'Kutei Sichos. One is more al derech hapshat, one is more al derech hasod. The Rebbe says in order, the Rebbe is al derech hasod. You have to understand pshat. In the difference between the two mahalchim of L'Kutei Torah and L'Kutei Sichos to understand the Rash. So, al pi pnimis inyonim. Kann man einfach sagen, Pshat im Kesef Mishnah. What's Toher? Toher the Pshat, in the Lashon of the Maral of Prague, as Mitzad Gidre HaNeisen legt sich auf, as Toher ist nicht Stock im Metzies. And mainly das Toher. Aber mit Mitzad Gidre HaMekabel, der Alter Rebbe Mazel Pshat in Rambam, dort legt sich auf La Yochel Chachomim Lamed al Sif Daita Shel Rab Meir. Rab Meir was in Gidre HaNeisen, he was too of a high level for them. There's the famous story of the Alter Rebbe that before he passed away, hat gesagt, ich sehe nicht den Balkon. I don't see this the ceiling. I see Dvar Hashem, because before he passed away, he stayed also by the Kozitzer Magid. And he told someone, du zest dem Tisch, weil du tappst mit dem Tisch. So before the Histalkas, a person is on a lofty level. As that, he doesn't see the roof. It's Gidre HaNeisen. He doesn't see the Welt. He's on a different level. So could be das Pshat in Kesef Mishnah. And even though he said it as an Neshome beguf, Zog the Kesef Mishnah Pshat in Rambam, but he's on a different level. He's on Gidre HaNeisen. As Zetchen is the Balkon, could be that's Pshat in the Kesef Mishnah. So even though la haloch, if you would give a get, the alle fragen, or he would do anything else, he's still on the Neshama Beguf, he's a Chai, especially if he's Tzolu B'daitoi, to be Machriya between a Machlekes Aposkim and a Goyim. True. Aber mitzad the word von Alten Rebbe and the Maharal, mitzad dem Gidri HaNeisen, he's already in Gidri HaNeisen, he's like Rameir was lo yochel chachamim lamed al seif daite. Because Rameir was connected with Gidri HaNeisen, which explained in Gidri Arichas. Could be this is a little interpretation in Pshat in the Kesef Mishnah, or so much as with the Kesef Mishnah. Also, v'yireli shetumosi b'sofik. Maybe you could also connect with this. But we'll leave it for now. But the main thing is that the Rebbe to help him is also verstehen. The next and influence Mateiros Secha. Sometimes with the BLP Chassidus, the way the Alter Rebbe explains in L'Kutei Torah and in L'Kutei Sichos, you could understand Pshat in the Kesef Mishnah. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.